Greetings, everyone. This is Nafana Fraser. This is my video submission for ERE3204 reading seminar. Thank you. So, for this past 10 weeks, we would have looked at the scope and function of a literacy specialist, teaching strategies for enhancing literacy instructions, creating a literate community, selected teams and strategy for literacy instruction, writing and writers workshop. We also had cases whereby we would have taken part in group discussions. We had to share our own thoughts on various topics. So it was definitely informative. It was eye-opening. I realized that as a literacy specialist, the roles would have changed. So my perception was I was basically a support staff, a primary interventionist for struggling readers inside of the classroom. Now, what I do understand, what I've learned is that basically what I'm doing is I am one of those persons who would be using evidence based literacy practice. I would be a advocate for equity in my classroom, whereby I'll ensure inclusive and cultural responsive teaching is available to every class. Also, or and every student. I am a collaborative partner whereby I'll be working with teachers, parents, and administrative to drive literacy success, not just for one student but for every child. As a literacy specialist, I am a guide in which I support my students through the reading journey. I'm a facilitator of critical thinking whereby I encourage analysis, questioning, and children making connections with what they would have read. I'm also one of the differentiated instructions planner. So basically, I tailor my lessons to meet the individual learning needs of my students. So as a literacy specialist, I am that. Plus, I not only cater for struggling learners, but I also cater for every child in my classroom. So let us look at some system gaps affecting literacy specialists. So we have cases of limited and uneven access to continuous professional development opportunities. We also have time constraints and scheduling challenges for effective collaboration with colleagues. Inconsistent or unclear literacy planning and expectation across grade levels in schools. You also have a lack of resources or materials that are aligned with the best literacy practices. And lastly, you have limited support from administration for systemic literacy initiatives. So far, I've learned is the importance of using data-driven instructions to inform teaching strategies. I've learned about the effective approaches for supporting struggling readers and targeted interventions. We discussed that in classes. The value of integrative literacy across the curriculum, not just in language arts. We also learned about the importance of strengthening student engagement through student-centered practices, the importance of building a classroom environment that fosters a love for reading and inquiry. We also learned about the different possibilities, that is available in integrative digital technology in the classroom for the teacher and pupils. While I would have learned so much, there are a few things that I would very much like to know. I would learn to know about the support that is, so what are some of the support that I can give those multilingual learners, like the Venezuelans that are coming in our country. I would like to know some of the, what are some ways I can help him or those type of students. Also, I would like to know about the the strategies that are best suited for the different learning styles that we are faced with, not only the different learning styles, also those students who may be a little bit slow or who may be considered somewhat differently abled. One of my major concern is how do I balance curriculum coverage with my students' needs. So some recommendation I have for that is that continuous training for literacy staff so that we'll be able to know how to do that. Also, stronger school-wide literacy leadership, and let's have more time for collaborative planning. In some cases, you can have students or school giving us a special timetable to cater for that. One of the things I am looking forward to is taking what I would have learned during this course and to practice it inside of my classroom. I know that there are a few I would have already started including. So I know that not only will I be a benefit to my students, but I'll also be a benefit to my school. Thank you very much.